They say the question of God's origin is the oldest mystery, the one that has haunted thinkers for centuries. Where did he come from? Who created the Creator? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the silence that follows such a question. A silence so deep it feels as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for an answer too vast for time to contain. Today, we're stepping beyond beginnings, beyond stars, beyond angels, beyond even the very first words of creation. Today, we confront a question that challenges the limits of human understanding, the nature of God, the first rebellion, and the cosmic war that followed. Before time began, before light split the void, before angels danced in praise, there was only God, fully alive, fully aware, complete in himself. Not lonely, not incomplete, just existence itself. I am, he said to Moses, not I was or I will be, but the eternal present, the source of all life, the beginning and the end. Time itself would later unfold, but God was beyond its reach. He existed outside the ticking clock, outside cause and effect, a presence so absolute that our minds can barely comprehend it. And yet, in his eternal awareness, God was not idle. He was alive in himself, in perfect communion of infinite love, reflecting, rejoicing, and preparing a story that would one day involve you. Then came the first created being, radiant beyond imagination, perfect beyond measure. His name was Lucifer, not born evil, not corrupted from the start, but magnificent, crowned with light, walking closest to the throne, leading worship with a voice that seemed to echo creation itself. But within his perfection, a whisper arose. Pride, desire, I deserve more. Why bow when I can rise? Why worship when I can be worshipped? Those thoughts fractured heaven's harmony. Isaiah would later capture it. I will ascend to the heavens. I will be like the Most High. And with that, the first war began. Lucifer did not rebel alone. Revelation tells us a third of heaven followed him. Angels once radiant and loyal now swallowed by ambition. The heavens trembled, thunder rolled, light fractured, and still God did not destroy. Every act, every choice, every betrayal was part of a deeper design. A plan that would stretch across eternity, a stage where light and darkness, obedience and rebellion, grace and ruin would dance in tension. The earth became the arena. Humanity, fragile and yet resilient, entered the story as a gift of free will. God's plan was never a reaction, never a plan B. The cross was always part of the design, the eternal Creator stepping into time to restore what had been fractured. The question was never merely, who created God? The real question is, what kind of love is this? A love willing to step into its own creation, to suffer, to die, and to redeem. But let's step back to the first rebellion. Lucifer's fall was not simply a cosmic event. It was a human story mirrored in angels. Desire without restraint, love without obedience, pride without humility. These are lessons we still witness today. The angels who remained faithful wept for those who fell, not in joy for their triumph, but in sorrow for the beauty and light that had been lost. Heaven remembered the fallen, not to restore them, but to mark eternity with the weight of choice, the cost of rebellion. Even now, the echo of that first war resonates through creation. Every act of compassion, every second chance offered to mankind, every word of mercy whispered through history carries the imprint of that ancient rebellion. Because before God ever spoke to a demon, before Lucifer's shadow touched the earth, God had already remembered the value of what he had made. His memory does not forget. His love does not vanish. And even in silence, even in judgment, his presence stirs, reaching into the darkest corners, into the fallen, into the lost, into the human heart. So when you ask yourself who created God, pause. Instead, ask, what is the nature of a love so vast it dares to speak to the fallen, to enter the broken, and to restore what was never meant to be destroyed? From the first rebellion to the birth of mankind, from the fall of angels to the promise of redemption, God's voice moves through time, invisible yet undeniable, reminding every soul that nothing, not even rebellion, can escape his plan. He speaks not to punish, not to condemn, but to remember, to restore, and to redeem. That is the mystery buried beneath creation, the eternal thread woven through every age, whispering to us all, even the fallen are not beyond the reach of divine remembrance.